This video will be checking how layouts with Photoshop can really help when planning drawing assignments. We're going to click on Photoshop to load up on our desktop. You may be asked and prompted to do a Gmail account setup. Here we're going to hit Create New File, and I'm going to create a file of any size I want, but in this case I'm going to make a 12 by 12. That's height and width. My resolution doesn't need to be 300, should be 150. That's fine. I hit Create. Now we have a document that's 12 by 12. To the left, we have our toolbar that has several tools underneath Photoshop. We'll discuss those. And here we have our layers bar where every time we add a picture, it creates a new layer. I'll show you how we use that. I'm going to go and find the images I want to load into my file. So here's my 3 images. I'll load one at a time right now. Click and drag it right over your file. When your image loads up, you're going to see that there's a blue box around it. This is the Move tool here. And the Move tool allows you to not only move an image, but make it larger and smaller. Just make sure that checkbox right there is enabled. You see the blue shape around. Moving it with the diagonal there, you can make it larger or smaller and move it anywhere on the document. I'm going to place it here for now and hit Return to set it in place. And you'll see that there's a new layer, and that's for the cat image. I can highlight and label my layers if I want to be better organized. I'm going to do the same thing now, loading up my other 2 images for my assignment. I can load them both up, and they'll load up one at a time. So I'll just scale this down, move it off to the side of my document, hit Return. The other one will pop up, and I'll do the same as well. So after I do that, now I have 3 new layers on here, one representing each cat. So if I want to control one layer, I have to highlight that layer, and it will only control that. There we go, cat 1, 2, and 3. I can shut off this eye icon to see the image or not. It just temporarily takes it away. It's good for planning purposes. And now as I move the images, you're going to see that this cat image is behind that one because the hierarchy of layers shows that it's below the other layers. If I want it on top, I can slide it over. But it could be pretty annoying at this point if I have that white of the paper showing behind the cat. So one way to eliminate that in Photoshop, I'll show you, is on the bottom here, below, you're going to see Remove Background. If I click that, it actually took the white away. I'll show you see how that little black box appeared in the layer palette. Now you can see that white is missing, so they can really lay over each other more naturally. I'm going to do that with the other 2. Just make sure it's on and hit Remove Background. It's a new feature on Photoshop 2023. So now I can effortlessly plan my layout by scaling my images larger and smaller as I wish. I can hover over the corner of the image and I can spin it in any direction if I want to tilt it. And now my job is to plan my composition. Here I'm going to go with a triangular composition, like kind of a foreground, middle ground, background layout. And it's okay if part of your drawing gets cut off by the edge of the paper because sometimes in a composition, space doesn't mean floating everything in the middle of the drawing. This will allow you to have several attempts at finding a layout that works really well for you. I really like how this works. The three images of the same cat. So with something like this and being happy with it, I can save it and print it. To print, I go to File, hit Print. And if the image looks too large for the piece of paper, I just slide down on the print icon and hit Scale to Fit. That'll ensure that it prints. You might get some pop-ups that say, are you okay with this? And then it will print for you. Saving. You can go to File. There's a couple ways to save. You can go to Save, Save As. I'm just going to go to Save. I can title it, tell it where to be saved, and the type of document I want it to be. If I keep it as a Photoshop document, I could always open it up in Photoshop and re-edit it. So here I'm just going to save it as a Photoshop document. And here I'm going to save a copy as a JPEG, which is a normal picture. That way it can open up for me on like a Chromebook. And when you save an image, you might want to back it up by emailing it to yourself so you have easy access to it. So there we go. It's also saved in your cloud on Photoshop if you ever have to access it again. Good luck with that.